holding a book or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Patricia. Starting with the Amherst Bee for Thursday, April 2nd. Amherst's Rathi Ravi makes history as first brown woman honored at Governor's Capitol. Rathi Ravi, a resident of Amherst, was the first brown woman to be honored at the Governor's Capitol on March 18th as part of the March Women's History Month celebrations. She was recognized for her dedication and service to her community. The certificate read that her contributions uphold the legacy of New York women since the first Women's Rights Convention in 1848, inspiring future generations and enriching the history and future of our state. Ravi has been impacting the region through her work in arts education, youth development, and community building. Ravi is the founder of Kala Sava Arts and Cultural Society, an organization that has become a cornerstone for cultural education and artistic expression in Western New York. She also established the Rasa Arts Dance and Music School, where hundreds of students have been trained in classical dance and music while developing confidence, discipline, and a strong sense of cultural identity. Through these initiatives, Ravi has created platforms for multicultural arts and organized annual performances and festivals that bring together families from diverse backgrounds. Her efforts extend beyond the arts into youth empowerment. Ravi has mentored young people through programs focused on dance, language, and cultural education, helping to build leadership skills, teamwork, and self-esteem. She has also developed youth-led volunteer groups that actively participate in community events and service projects, providing students with opportunities to engage and give back. In addition to her work with youth, Ravi has played a key role in strengthening cross-cultural connections. As co-founder of the Asian American Cultural Alliance, she has helped foster collaboration among various Asian communities in the region. She has also partnered with local schools, libraries, and community organizations to promote cultural understanding through inclusive programming and public events. Ravi's also focused on preserving language and heritage through education. She founded the Tamil language school, offering younger generations the opportunity to learn and maintain their linguistic roots. Many of her programs are offered at low or no cost, helping ensure accessibility for families throughout the community. Her commitment to service is reflected in numerous volunteer-driven initiatives, including food drives, mentorship programs, and outreach efforts supporting working families, caregivers, and new immigrants. Ravi has also led environmental initiatives such as tree planting campaigns aimed at promoting sustainability and community responsibility. In recognition of her contributions, Ravi was honored for elevating the visibility of South Asian voices while fostering unity and cultural awareness throughout the region. Through her leadership, Ravi continues to strengthen Western New York communities by promoting inclusion, education, and cultural pride. I walked into the Governor's Capitol not simply as a guest, but as a woman whose work had earned its place alongside the state's most respected leaders. In that moment, the pride I felt was not mine alone. It belonged to my family, whose support made every step possible. It belonged to my community, whose strength and spirit continue to inspire me. It belonged to every child who has been part of this journey of leadership, engagement, and social responsibility. It belonged to every parent who placed their trust in me and to every volunteer who believed in a vision that grew into something far greater than any one person. That recognition was not just an honor, it was a shared milestone, said Ravi. Assemblywoman Karen McMahon of Assembly District 146 endorsed Ravi for this honor. Before the recognition, Ravi was given a tour of the historic Capitol building in Albany, which she described as unforgettable, offering both inspiration and a renewed sense of purpose. Being the first brown woman from Buffalo recognized in that space was more than symbolic. It carried a profound sense of responsibility. In that moment, I felt the weight of representation, the importance of visibility, and the quiet realization that a path was opening for others. It wasn't pressure, it was purpose. And alongside that purpose was joy that was pure, bright, and shared. I felt it in the warmth of the room, in the acknowledgement of my work, and in the presence of leaders who truly saw its impact. It was in the celebration of women from across New York, each of us carrying our own stories. This wasn't a quiet joy. It was the kind that lights you up and stays with you long after the moment has passed. It was a powerful reminder that the work matters, and moments like this don't make you complacent. They make you more determined, said Ravi. Continuing with the Amherst Bee for April 2nd, under the Spindle column by Bob Krupsik. Happy belated birthday. I missed a big birthday in last week's edition of the paper, the Amherst Bees, which is now in its 147th year. The Meeser family owned the paper for more than 117 years before Sample News Group took ownership in December 2024. The roots of B Group newspapers are traced back to March 27, 1879, and the first edition of the Amherst Bee, founded by Adam Reinwald. On March 18, 1907, the Bee was purchased by one of his apprentice printers, George J. Meeser Sr., and the rest is history. Happy birthday. Young Police. The Amherst Police Department is excited to announce the 2026 Youth Police Academy, with applications now being accepted. This program offers local youth a unique or SO. Email communitypolicing@apdny.org. Call 716-689-1387. Spots are limited. Don't miss this great opportunity to learn, grow, and serve your community. Senior Center website. According to an Amherst Senior Center updates email about the center's website, Amherst Center for Senior Services.com. That's all one word, Amherst Center for Senior Services.com. It will be receiving a slight makeover to enhance accessibility that will better serve the community. Visitors may notice that portions of the site are under construction as updates are being made. The updates may include, but are not limited to, changes to color contrast and larger, more readable text to support individuals with low vision. Visitors may also notice enhancements such as clearer page structure and interactive elements like buttons and links will be more clearly identified and easier to use. Senior Center remodeling. As part of the Senior Center's ongoing efforts to enhance the facility and expand opportunities for members, a renovation project will begin during the center's temporary shutdown Monday, April 27th through Friday, May 1st. Remodeling work will take place in a section of the building located next to the conference room near the administrative offices. This area will be redesigned and renovated to create a new room for programs, activities, and other group gatherings. The center has heard some questions about the location of this project and want to clarify that this construction is not taking place in any existing activity rooms. All updates are focused specifically on creating a new space near the administrative offices. This improvement reflects the center's continued commitment to providing welcoming, functional, and engaging spaces that support the needs and interests of its members, while allowing the center to expand programming and offer new opportunities to connect. The center appreciates patience and understanding during the construction process and look forward to welcoming its community into this new space once it's complete. Continuing with the Amherst Bee for April 2nd, some letters to the editor. The first letter, term limits exist for a reason. The proposal to abolish term limits for our local elected officials deserves far more scrutiny than it has received. At the October 2023 League of Women Voters debate, Councilpersons Marinucci and Zucala each stated plainly that they would not support eliminating term limits. Their position reflects a principle many residents share. Public service should be about accountability, not entrenchment. Term limits exist for a reason. They prevent the consolidation of political power, encourage fresh ideas, and ensure that no single individual becomes so deeply embedded in the system that they are effectively impossible to replace. When elected officials know they cannot remain in office indefinitely, they are more likely to stay responsive to the people they represent. Term limits also create opportunities for new leaders, people with different backgrounds, perspectives, and solutions, to step forward and contribute to the community. Removing term limits risks weakening that healthy cycle. It can lead to stagnation, reduced transparency, and a political environment where incumbency becomes an overwhelming advantage. Residents deserve a government that renews itself regularly, not one that becomes insulated from change. The statements made by Councilperson Marinucci and Zucala at the debate should be taken seriously. Their commitment to preserving term limits aligns with the belief that the public office is a temporary trust, not a permanent position. For the sake of good government and a vibrant, responsive democracy, term limits should remain firmly in place. This letter signed Bill Blake, Fairlawn Drive, Amherst. The second letter, my auto insurance premiums are too high. I support the plan to fix it. Well, it is welcome news to see lawmakers in Albany talking about affordability and high costs in New York. Governor Hochul is taking action by reducing punishing auto insurance premiums in the state. The plain fact is New Yorkers have the highest auto insurance rates in the country, paying $1,500 more a year than the national average. These rates continue to climb to unsustainable levels, with a 21% increase in the last 3 years. I have felt the impact of these costs firsthand in my own small business. As the owner of a local pizzeria, I depend on cars to deliver my products to customers and on trucks to get the ingredients and supplies I need. Cars are not a luxury in our line of work, and this mandatory expense squeezes our bottom line, limits job growth and hours, and ultimately forces higher prices on our customers. I salute Governor Hochul for trying to lower premiums for small businesses like mine and consumers. She has proposed comprehensive reforms to prevent fraud and to curb New York's excessive and expensive lawsuit environment. No political fight for the faint of heart. These proposals seek to provide safer roads, fairer rules, and lower premiums for families and businesses like mine across the state. These reforms deserve the legislature's support. And this is signed Scott Hanlon, La Porta's Pizzeria, Williamsville. And finally, another letter. Sherman deserves recent praise. I was pleased to recently read in the Bee that the Village of Williamsville Mayor Christine Hunt presenting Dave Sherman with a proclamation for his years of dedication editing and printing the Firefighter newspaper. Sherm has proudly served the Amherst-Williamsville community as a volunteer firefighter, spent over 4 decades overseeing the content published in the Amherst Bee and the other Bee newspapers, and has also served in paid and volunteer capacities for the town of Amherst and the village of Williamsville. I live in the South Towns, but know the Western New York community as a whole is better off because of Mr. Sherman. Kudos to him for all he has done in the past, and here's a public sign of encouragement for him to continue to contribute to the community in a positive fashion. Signed, Dan Meyer, Randall Terrace, Hamburg. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:10. Turning to the Clarence Bee for Thursday, April 2nd. Town Board advances projects, approves events at March meeting by Emma McElligott. The Town of Clarence Board took action on a range of infrastructure projects, event approvals, and administrative matters during its Wednesday, March 25th meeting. In the supervisor's report, bid dates were set for 3 town projects. Bids for the Sheridan Drive Sidewalks project were scheduled to be open at 10 a.m. Thursday, April 30th. Bids for shredded topsoil to be picked up by the Town of Clarence were scheduled for 9 a.m. Tuesday, April 7th, followed by bids for the Clarenew Drive concrete gutter replacement at 10 a.m. the same day. Councilman Peter DiCostanzo announced changes to an upcoming town recreation event, noting the fishing derby will be rescheduled from Saturday, April 4th to Saturday, April 11th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. The event is open to children under 15 or 15 and under. DiCostanzo also provided a public safety reminder regarding a burn ban currently in effect from March 16th through May 14th. The ban applies to brush and leaf burning, though small backyard fires are still permitted. Councilman Bob Altieri said he had no motions to present, but noted that the Clarence Fireworks in the Park Committee remains active and is working toward the town's June fireworks event. The board approved 2 special event permits. Music in Clarence Center will take place from 6 to 9 p.m., June 24th, July 29th, and August 26th. The Buffalo Cars and Coffee events are scheduled for May 17th, June 21st, August 9th, and September 27th from 9 a.m. to noon. The board also scheduled a public hearing for 10:15 a.m. April 22nd to consider 2026 temporary conditional permit renewals. Businesses included in the review are JSN Auto, Lemon Auto Detail, Epic Motor Cars, Uniland/Mountain Development, Buffalo Auto Spa, Toasted, Morluski's Brewster's Ice Cream, Rob's Topical Pizza, Sturdy Sheds, the Amish Peddler, Brower Enterprises Incorporated, Reagan Landscape, KD Associates Buffalo Incorporated, Morrison Stapleton Incorporated, and Love Your Dog. Several applications for use of town facilities were approved. The Erie County Board of Elections will use the clubhouse April 23rd to the 24th and May 4th to 5th. The Clarence Arts and Crafts Society is scheduled to use the clubhouse May 29th. Boy Scout Troop 93 will use the Nature Center April 11th to the 13th. The board approved bills dated March 12th, totaling $517,499.59. Expenditures included $142,619.86 from the general fund, $63,894.95 from the highway fund, $1,600 from the fire protection district, $868.17 from the drainage fund, and $308,516.61 from the capital fund. Town Supervisor Patrick Casilio concluded the meeting by congratulating the Chamber of Commerce Gala winners. Continuing with the Clarence Bee for April 2nd from the police blotter. Bomb threat on Transit Road determined to be hoax. Saturday, March 21st, the Erie County Sheriff's Office is investigating a complaint of criminal mischief at the Clarence Center Fire Station. Deputies reported that youths were driving a vehicle around a grove and caused damage to the grass. Deputies responded to a 2-vehicle accident on Transit Road. Deputies reported minor damage to both vehicles and no injuries. An information exchange was completed, and both drivers were advised to contact their insurance companies. Sunday, March 22nd, deputies arrested an individual on a charge of driving while intoxicated on Main Street. Deputies reported the individual registered a blood alcohol content of 0.22%. The individual was transported to the Erie County Holding Center pending arraignment. Monday, March 23rd, the Erie County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fraud complaint on Lapp Road. The complainant reported being tricked into purchasing a $1,400 gift card and providing the card numbers to a subject over the phone before realizing it was a scam. Deputies from the Clarence substation, along with the SWAT team and bomb squad, investigated a threat made to a business on Transit Road. Deputies gathered a letter and other items related to the incident and determined the threat was a hoax. There was no actual threat to the public, though the business was closed for an extended period during the investigation. And finally, Tuesday, March 24th, deputies responded to a shoplifting incident at a Transit Road business. An individual was arrested for petty larceny and released on an appearance ticket following the incident. And continuing with the Clarence B. letters to the editor, Western New York needs strong leadership in Congress. To the constituents of New York's 23rd Congressional District, the November election is 8 months away, but it is not too early to consider how Congressman Nick Langworthy has been representing the district. This is pertinent given recent news releases from Representative Langworthy touting his accomplishments in advocacy. They include funding for airport snow removal and wastewater treatment. There is also legislation for student mental health, West Valley nuclear waste cleanup, dietary supplement regulation, and law enforcement improvement on Seneca Nation territory. These all have value and make sense. This type of advocacy is what all members of Congress carry out for their constituency. When it comes to two very critical issues impacting Western New York and the 23rd District, Representative Langworthy has failed us. First is related to Canada. Since the start of 2025, cross-border traffic has been down by 30%, costing the Western New York businesses and economy tens of millions of dollars from lost hospitality and sales tax. Also, New York was exporting over $19 billion in goods and services to Canada, with 77,000 New Yorkers employed by Canadian companies. It will be a while to determine how much of that has been lost, but make no mistake, exports and livelihoods have suffered. Representative Langworthy has not publicly pushed back against the primary cause of this decline, the president's tariffs and his juvenile rhetoric, alienating one of our most trusted allies and trading partners. Maybe he has done so behind the scenes, in which case he was not successful. The other issue is Representative Langworthy's strong support for the war in Iran / Operation Epic Fury, a military campaign that has cost the lives of U.S. military personnel, rising oil prices and heartbreaking collateral damage, innocent Iranian schoolgirls. And at the time of this writing, the campaign itself has cost $31 billion with $200 billion request in the offing, all to attack a country run by a terrible regime, but that posed no imminent threat to the U.S. To be a leader, one has to be willing to stand up for what is right on the big issues, even if it's hard. His actions on these two vital things tell you all you need to know about where Representative Langworthy's ultimate loyalty lies with his party, a party beholden to the whims of the president. There are alternatives this November. Jim King, an engineer, is running for the Republican primary. And on the Democratic side, attorney Kevin Stocker and Dr. Aaron Gies from St. Bonaventure are vying for their party to be their party representative. They deserve your serious consideration. Signed, Peter Hilme, Galway Terrace, Clarence Center. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier radio reading service. The time is 2:20. starting now with the Cheektowaga Bee for Thursday, April 2nd. Cleveland Hill Fire Department to host open house recruitment event. The Cleveland Hill Fire Department will be hosting a free open house recruitment event from 5 to 7 p.m. Saturday, April 18th at their firehouse, 440 Cleveland Drive, Cheektowaga. Some of the benefits of becoming a Cleveland Hill firefighter include receiving free firefighter and EMS training, getting access to a retirement program, qualifying for a New York State income tax credit or property tax reduction, attending member events, and being eligible for New York State EMT rapid recertification. Requirements include being at least 18 years old, having a valid driver's license, and meeting the qualifications for one of the department's categories. Qualifications for in-district interior firefighter. Having a New York State Interior Firefighter certification or enrolling in a course within 1 year of joining with successful completion. Obtaining a first aid/CPR certification within the first year of membership. Responding to at least 10% of all fire and EMS alarms. Attending 2 drills per month as a probationary member, then 1 drill per month after. Qualifications for an in-district EMS only. Having a New York State EMT certification or enrolling within 1 year of joining with successful completion. Responding to at least 10% of all fire and EMS alarms. Attending 2 drills per month as a probationary member, then 1 drill per month after. Qualifications for the duty shift program, out of district volunteers. Complete 24 hours of duty shifts per month in place of alarm response requirement. Open to both interior firefighter and EMS only members. Dennis Kahn, a safety officer for the Cleveland Hill Fire Department, said the event is going to be pretty informal and will include a meet and greet with firefighters and attendees, an information table, and a tour of the firehouse. We'll just give them a glimpse of, all the things that they can be trained to do and what we're about as far as helping the community. He added, we're just looking for people that want to help and are dedicated. Cleveland Hill is partnering with Recruit New York, an organization that helps recruit volunteer firefighters, to host the event, which the department has been holding for a few years now. Khan added that the fire department is starting to see lower numbers of volunteers. Continuing with the Cheektowaga Bee for April 2nd, Baskin introduces a bill to redevelop historic white elephant buildings. On Monday, March 30th, New York State Senator April N.M. Baskin announced legislation to address the state's largest and most chronically vacant historic buildings, commonly known as white elephants, according to a press release. These structures are defined as certified historic buildings that are very large in scale, have been vacant for at least 10 of the past 15 years, and require more than $50 million to rehabilitate. The legislation would strengthen the New York State Historic Rehabilitation Tax Credit Program, an already successful economic development initiative, said Baskin. The New York State Historic Rehabilitation Tax Credit has been a resounding success since 2010, Baskin added, but the current $5 million cap is simply not enough to tackle these significantly larger projects. By strengthening the incentive, we make it financially realistic to bring these properties back to life. We shouldn't let buildings like these sit vacant when they could be economic engines for our communities. According to Baskin, Senate Bill 6021A should raise the cap on available credits from $5 million to $15 million for qualifying white elephant buildings. The State Historic Preservation Office has identified 35 buildings statewide that could qualify, including Buffalo's Richardson Olmsted Campus, Central Terminal, and potentially the DL&W Terminal, Statler Tower, former AM&A's buildings, and the Pierce Arrow factory. The companion bill, A10366, was introduced by Assembly Member Pamela Hunter, a Democrat from Syracuse. Since 2010, the New York State Historic Rehabilitation Tax Credit has supported more than 1,500 projects, representing more than $17 billion in investment, said Baskin. The program has created 14,000 housing units, including 4,300 affordable units, and supports thousands of construction jobs annually. Historic rehabilitation also generates significant secondary employment, with every 10 construction jobs creating an additional 1.8 to 2.4 jobs in other sectors. State tax credits leverage federal funding and private investment, stabilize neighborhoods, support new businesses, and create new housing. Increasing this cap may well determine whether these buildings are saved and reused or lost forever, she added. The spindle column for the Cheektowaga Bee Spindle by Michael Pulse. Art Jury. Aspire of Western New York's popular invite-only art jury event is now open to the public. The free event will be held from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Thursday, April 16th at Raymore and Flanagan Furniture and Mattress Store, 3770 Union Road, according to their Facebook. Attendees will help select this year's featured artwork from participants in Aspire of Western New York I Express Art Program, which is a program for people with developmental disabilities. Guests can enjoy an evening of art, wine, beer, and hors d'oeuvres while viewing artwork and voting for their 10 favorite pieces. Selected works will be included in Aspire of Western New York's original sale, silent auction, and live auction at the Art and Wine Celebration in September 2026. The artists have spent the year preparing for these annual exhibitions, showcasing their unique creativity. Aspire of Western New York encourages the community to attend and support these talented individuals. To acquire a free ticket, visit tinyurl.com/45YPP9RN. And an internship opportunity. College students seeking hands-on experience in journalism are invited to apply for internships with the Bee newspapers from May to August. Interns will work with the editorial department, gaining practical experience in writing, reporting, and conducting interviews for publication. Opportunities may include covering local events, attending meetings, and assisting with day-to-day newsroom tasks. The internship may be completed for school credit and offers a flexible schedule. While interning at the Bee, students can expect to connect with local organizations, businesses, and community leaders, building valuable industry connections. Interns will also gain hands-on experience in deadline-driven reporting while developing skills in interviewing, feature-style writing, research, fact-checking, editing, and AP style. Participants will learn to craft stories for publication, work with editors on revisions, and gain insight into professional newsroom standards and practices. This opportunity is designed to help students strengthen their portfolios while gaining real-world experience in local journalism. For more information, please contact Managing Editor Bob Krupsik at bobk@bnews.com. Turning to the Lancaster Bee for April 2nd, under local news. Bees, what's going on? Halfway to Halloween craft show. A spooky celebration is coming early to Depew with the Halfway to Halloween Bootaccular Craft and Vendor Show. The event, presented by the Eventpreneur Pro, will be held from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, April 11th at 445 Columbia Avenue. The Halloween-themed market will feature a variety of craft and vendor booths giving visitors a chance to shop for handmade goods, seasonal decor, and other unique items while enjoying a haunted house backdrop and eerie atmosphere. Organizers encourage local residents to mark their calendars for this mid-year Halloween fix, which offers a family-friendly way to get into the spooky spirit months ahead of October. For booking information or vendor inquiries, email eventpreneurpro, and that's spelled EVENTPRENEURPRO @gmail.com. Lancaster Opera House to present The Odd Couple. Lancaster Opera House will present Neil Simon's beloved comedy, The Odd Couple, this April, bringing one of Broadway's most celebrated mismatched duels to the local stage. Performances run Friday, April 10th through Sunday, April 26th, with evening shows at 7:30 p.m. and select matinees at 2:30 p.m. The play opens on a friendly card game in the delightfully disheveled apartment of divorced sports writer Oscar Madison. His mess of an existence is turned upside down when his friend Felix Unger arrives, newly separated, heartbroken, and obsessively neat. When the clean freak and the slob agree to share an apartment, Oscar quickly discovers that Felix's fastidious habits and emotional turmoil may drive him to murder. Their clashing personalities and escalating tensions unfold with hilarious results, proving why The Odd Couple remains a comic favorite for audiences of all ages. Tickets are $35 for adults, $33 for seniors, and $20 for students. The box office is open from 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday or by appointment. For tickets or more information, visit the Lancaster Opera House online, or the box office can be reached by phone at 716-683-1776. Our Lady of Pompeii speaker event. Father Leon Bernat will discuss St. Carlo Augustus from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday, April 13th at Our Lady of Pompeii Church, 157 Leverett Avenue, Lancaster. Augustus, known as the patron saint of the Internet, passed away in 2006 following a life of devotion to the Church and cataloging Eucharistic miracles worldwide on a website he created. All are welcome. Refreshments to follow the event. Amherst Quilters Guild. The Amherst Quilters Guild will present its 2026 Kaleidoscope Quilt Show from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, April 17th, and Saturday, April 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 19th. The event takes place at Buffalo Niagara Heritage Village, 3755 Tonawanda Creek Road, Amherst. The show will include vendors, an opportunity quilt, close to 100 basket raffles, and a boutique, with 10% off boutique proceeds benefiting the guild. Admission is $7 for general entry and $10 for combo admission, which includes show entry and $5 in basket raffle tickets. DCC, Spring into Summer Craft Show. The Depew Community Center will host its Spring into Summer Craft Show from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, April 18th at 570 Gould Avenue, Depew. Shoppers can browse a variety of handmade goods, arts, gifts, and seasonal items from local crafters in the center's renovated community space. Admission is free and open to all. For more information, visit the Depew Community Center online or call 716-288-7221. LHS Antlers Club Carnival Kids Seek Orchestra. The Lancaster High School Antlers Club will host the Carnival Kids Steel Orchestra in the concert at 6:30 p.m. Friday, April 24th at the Elks Lodge, 33 Legion Parkway. Performances will take place from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Basket raffles will be available to benefit charities selected by the Elks Lodge. Tickets cost $7 per attendee. Continuing with the Lancaster to Pew B for April 2nd. St. Paul's Lutheran Church hosts groundbreaking ceremony for new church building by James Sinner. St. Paul's Lutheran Church at Blossom in Elma held a groundbreaking ceremony for construction of a new building on Saturday, March 21st, bringing together congregants in celebration of a new place to worship following the destruction of their historic church by fire. Destroyed on May 13, 2023, multiple area fire companies attempted to save St. Paul's Lutheran Church building. Members of the church worshipped at that site since 1862. The sanctuary and nearly all contents were declared a total loss. At the time of the fire, the church was near completion of a renovation project at the church steeple. Only a handful of items were able to be saved, like the altar cross, candelabras, a Bible, and a crucifix. Pastor Jonathan Hasley, who was placed at St. Paul's shortly before the fire took place, said that the challenge of losing the church was overcome by the power of faith. Today we build for future generations, he said. It's for the children and adults that will be baptized here, the individuals and families who will worship here, and the neighbors who will encounter the gospel here. Hasley added, this project is part of a much, much larger story that God has been working in and through this congregation long before today. This building becomes a tool for the vision that God has given. The firefighters tried to rush into the building and save artifacts, said Rebuild chairperson Robert Bridenstine. People I've known for decades were filled with raw, real, powerful emotion. Despite the sudden loss of his historic church, Bridenstine said he was filled with a sense of calmness and love and grace, relying on his faith in God while knowing that he and his fellow parishioners would not face the challenge alone. He, God, was with us when it was demolished and 162 years of our history was carted away in dump truck after dump truck, Bridenstine said. God was with us every step, every way, every inch, every foot, and every mile in the journey. Bridenstine concluded, faith has brought us this far, faith will continue to raise us up, and faith will soon see St. Paul's rise from the ashes. Christian Barber, who was council president at the church when the fire took place, said her faith has only grown since that fateful day. Well, there were feelings of loss and devastation following the destruction of our church building. The emotion I remember most from that day and following the fire is love, she said. The love we showed each other as a congregation on that day was something truly special. Barber added, it was that outpouring of love that helped to fuel our hope for the future of St. Paul's. Continuing with the Lancaster to Pew B, some announcements. Alden Trades Expo scheduled for April 14th. The Alden Family Center will host an Alden Skills Trade Job Fair on Tuesday, April 14th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Alden High School Gymnasium, 13190 Park Street. The event is designed to connect local employers with students ages 16 and older, recent high school graduates, and job seekers of any age who are interested in careers in the skilled trade. More than 15 local companies are expected to attend, representing fields such as construction, manufacturing, maintenance engineering, automotive, general labor, and healthcare. Job opportunities will include part-time and full-time positions, as well as internships for both high school and college students. Attendees will have the chance to meet local employers, learn about apprenticeships and training programs, and ask questions to better understand potential career paths. Job seekers are encouraged to bring copies of their resumes and be prepared for on-the-spot interviews with participating businesses. The job fair supports the Alden Family Center's mission to connect families and students with community resources and opportunities that promote academic, social, and career success within the Alden Central School District. By highlighting in-demand skilled trades, organizers hope to help residents explore stable, well-paying careers close to home. Another announcement. The Village of Lancaster is offering residents a special way to honor loved ones through its tree dedication program. This initiative creates lasting tributes in the heart of the community, allowing individuals and families to commemorate someone special with a bronze plaque displayed in the Central Business District. Interested applicants need to complete a brief form with their contact information and desired plaque wording. The 5 lines include options to indicate in memory of or in honor of the honoree's name and a custom inscription from the donor. The application fee is $365 due at submission. Payment would be made to the Village of Lancaster and mailed or delivered to the village clerk's office at 5423 Broadway, Lancaster 14086. All applications are subject to review and approval by the Forest Advisory Board. Markers become property of the village and are maintained accordingly, with details outlined in the dedication agreement. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:50. Turning to the Kenton Bee for Thursday, April 2nd. Kenton Chamber hosts inaugural Career Connections event, connecting nearly 400 students with local employers. The Kenmore Tonawanda Chamber of Commerce hosted its first ever Career Connections event, bringing together nearly 400 juniors from Kenmore East and Kenmore West high schools, with more than 35 local businesses and 4 expert presenters for a day focused on career exploration, skill building, and community connection. Developed in partnership with the Kenmore Town of Tonawanda School District and presented by the Western New York Scholars Foundation, Career Connections was designed to introduce students to the wide range of career opportunities available right here in the Kenton community. The event created a dynamic environment where students could engage directly with local employers, learn about internships and seasonal employment, and begin building valuable professional connections. Throughout the day, students participated in interactive sessions covering essential topics, such as how to start a business, how to present themselves professionally in the workforce, effective study strategies, and careers in civil service fields. The event also featured hands-on conversations with business leaders across a variety of industries, offering students real-world insights into potential career paths. Interactive stations focused on resume review, interview preparation, professional presentation, and workplace expectations. The employer panel offered moderated discussions where students heard directly from business leaders about career paths, growth opportunities, and industry insights. We were incredibly impressed by the enthusiasm, professionalism, and engagement of students, said Brooke Kibrick, the executive director of the Kenton Chamber of Commerce. It was inspiring to see so many young people eager to learn, ask questions, and start thinking about their futures right here in our community. The Chamber extended their sincere thanks to all sponsors, volunteers, presenters, and participating businesses who made the event possible, and for playing a key role in creating a meaningful and impactful experience for local students. Following the success of this inaugural event, the Kenton Chamber hopes to make Career Connections an annual program, continuing to strengthen the bridge between education and the local workforce. Continuing with the Kenton Bee, KVIS invites residents to sign up for gigantic Kenmore garage sale. The Kenmore Village Improvement Society is inviting residents to register to participate in the 11th annual gigantic Kenmore garage sale, set to take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, June 6. Each year, the event draws visitors from throughout Western New York and Ontario, transforming the 1.44 square miles of Kenmore into a village-wide shopping experience featuring over 100 sales. Residents who sign up to participate will be included on the official sales map, which helps guide shoppers throughout the community. The gigantic Kenmore garage sale offers multiple benefits for participants and the community. It provides residents with an opportunity to simplify their homes, earn extra income, and connect with neighbors, while also helping to keep usable items out of landfills. Participants are also encouraged to donate any unsold items to local charities, further extending the impact of the event. In addition to the sales, the event will once again include a community treasure hunt with clues provided on the sale maps and prizes available at the Made for Good shop. Residents interested in hosting a sale are encouraged to sign up through the KVIS website. The KVIS is a group of volunteers celebrating 18 years of serving the community. Membership to the KVIS is free and open for all people living anywhere who care about Kenmore. For more information, contact Melissa Foster at mail@villageofkenmore.com. Continuing with the Kenton Bee for April 2nd. Man dies after fleeing police and jumping into Erie Canal. A 36-year-old man died early March 26 after fleeing from police and entering the Erie Canal, according to the City of Tonawanda Police Department. At about 1:12 a.m., an officer observed a gray Volvo sedan commit a traffic violation near the intersection of Main Street and Niagara Street. The vehicle continued north over the Renaissance Bridge into North Tonawanda, where officers initiated a traffic stop at Webster Street. Police said the driver fled on foot, leading officers on a pursuit through nearby buildings and alleys towards Gateway Harbor along the Erie Canal. During the chase, the man jumped into the canal in an apparent attempt to evade arrest. Additional City of Tonawanda police officers responded to the location where the subject entered the water with water rescue equipment. A water rescue throw bag was deployed to the male subject. According to officers, they began pulling the male subject to shore. During the rescue attempt, the male subject became unconscious, at which point a City of Tonawanda police officer entered the water and brought the male subject to shore. Once on shore, life-saving measures were performed by responding police officers and were continued by the Tonawanda Fire Department. The male subject was transported by ambulance to Kenmore Mercy Hospital, where he was later announced deceased. Upon further investigation of the incident, it was discovered the 36-year-old male subject did have outstanding warrants for his arrest from 2 other Erie County law enforcement agencies. Due to the circumstance of the incident, the Erie County District Attorney's Office and the New York State Attorney General's Office were contacted. A detective from the New York State Attorney General's Office of Special Investigation did respond. The identity of the male subject is withheld pending notification to the family. Per department policy, the officers involved have been placed on paid administrative leave. No additional information is available for release at this time due to the ongoing investigation. Volunteers are invited to participate in an Earth Day cleanup hosted by the Town of Tonawanda Youth, Parks, and Recreation Department at 9 a.m. on Saturday, April 18th. The event will begin at the DFK Pavilion, located at 1200 Parker Boulevard. Participants will help clean parks and trails throughout the area, including the Lincoln Park and the Rails to Trail path. Volunteer tasks may include picking up garbage and debris, as well as weeding gardens along the trail and surrounding park areas. Pre-registration is required, with registration open from March 2nd through April 14th. Cleanup supplies will be provided and refreshments will be available while supplies last. Participants are encouraged to dress appropriately for the weather and wear boots. Children under 12 must be accompanied by an adult, and volunteers may need their own transportation to reach different cleanup locations. For more information, call 716-831-1001. Shredded event fundraiser slated for April 18th. The Rotary Club of Kenmore will host a Shredded fundraiser from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 18th at the Kenton Elmwood Commons at 3200 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. The event offers residents and businesses a secure way to dispose of old and sensitive documents. A suggested donation of $10 per file box will be accepted, with all proceeds benefiting local charities through Kenmore Rotary Charities. For more information, contact board member Steve Blass at 716-868-8085. And a final announcement in the Kentown Bee. Fundraiser meat raffle set for April 24th to support the Kenmore East Seniors Post-Prom celebration. The event will take place at the Knights of Columbus, located at 755 Erie Avenue. Doors will open at 6 p.m. with the raffle round beginning at 7 p.m. The event is open to those 21 and older with no exceptions and is not school-sponsored. Proceeds will benefit the Kenmore East Post-Prom celebration, an annual event held immediately after prom to provide students with a safe, supervised environment to celebrate. Cash and Venmo payments will be accepted for admission. Attendees using Venmo are requested to include the names of all guests in their payment. Community members interested in attending or donating raffle baskets are encouraged to contact John Becker at jrbecker@ktufsd.org. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Patricia. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our South Towns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's Bee Papers or Sons. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716-821-5555. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability,